Mountain Moving Moments with Philip Amiola.
Bill Gates had a vision to put a computer in every home, and he never had to worry about becoming the richest man in the world. If it was not God that gave him the idea, who did? The founders of Google had a vision to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. They ended up redefining life as we know it. We'll title our discussion today, Making Sense of Everyday Life. What do you do when life gets complicated and everything just doesn't seem to make sense? We all get to that point where life looks like a puzzle that we'll never solve. The demands of work, family responsibilities, societal expectations, and the normal business of life become so burdensome that we begin to wonder if it's all worth it. This is the point where some people pick up an addiction or sink into depression because life for them is meaningless. And this is what happens every time we lose sight of our placement in the larger scheme of things. If you're ever going to make sense of life, you must interpret the issues of everyday life in light of the bigger picture. This is not all about you. You must realize that you have been summoned to fulfill an aspect of God's grand purpose or eternal plan for humanity, and let this realization shape your approach to life. I like the way Jesus Christ put it when teaching his disciples not to worry about everyday life. In Matthew 6:25 to 34, he assured them that if they would seek the kingdom of God above all else and live righteously, every other thing would be taken care of. Many Christians have interpreted seeking the kingdom of God as going to church, giving tithes and offerings, and engaging in other spiritual activities. But even though Jesus was directly addressing his disciples, we must understand that the Bible is a book of life strategies, and the teachings of Jesus are practical principles of life that will work for everyone and anyone. In fact, anyone who has a sense of history knows that there was nothing called Christianity in the days of Jesus. So when Jesus said, seek the kingdom above all else, and other things will be added to you, he couldn't have been talking about going to church and all of those other stuff. Now, if you're a Christian, I'm not saying that you should stop going to church and practicing all the other disciplines for spiritual growth. What I am saying is that there is a much deeper message in these words of Jesus. When he said, first seek the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added to you, what he was saying in essence is that if you focus on the big picture and give full expression to the nature of God on your inside, you will not have to worry about what happens on the outside. Everything will be sorted out in the process of time. In other words, one aspect of seeking the kingdom of God is giving expression to the big picture that God has imprinted on the canvas of your heart. So what is your big picture? What's the vision that God has planted in your heart, and what are you doing about it? This has nothing to do with being a Christian, a Muslim, a Buddhist, or having any other religious affiliation. It's about bringing yourself into alignment with the principles of life, or if you like, the laws of the universe. Bill Gates had a vision to put a computer in every home, and he never had to worry about becoming the richest man in the world. If it was not God that gave him the idea, who did? The founders of Google had a vision to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. They ended up redefining life as we know it. Burning on the inside of Mark Zuckerberg was the picture of a world that is more open and connected. So he created Facebook with a vision to give people the power to build community, to bring the world closer together. As a little boy, Aliko Dangote would buy cartons of sweets and start selling them just to make money. Now he's Africa's richest man. We can pick many lessons from these stories, but one thread that runs through them all is that life will start making sense when you start paying attention to the business of understanding and working out the steerings of your heart. In other words, life will not have meaning and direction until you start interpreting it and responding to it in light of your God-given vision. Face what you have been called to do. Busy yourself with that and stop running after everything else. To do otherwise is to sacrifice eternal significance for temporal gain and trade a life of true fulfillment for a life of constant frustration. You don't have to be another Bill Gates. You don't have to replicate the phenomenal success of Google or build the next Facebook. You have no business competing with Aliko Dangote. Simply find your place and run your race. We will not all be famous and larger than life, but we can all do something significant if we fully commit ourselves to following our God-given vision. And in the end, that's all that matters. I encourage you to share this message with your friends and family. It's time for us to start experiencing the joy of waking up to a life of meaning and significance every single day. Thank you for being a part of Mountain Moving Moment today. Till we see you again, keep on fine tuning your vision and taking practical steps towards realizing it.